What's happening, Shredder Nation? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode number 88 of Living the Shredder Life. I'm your host, Jesse James Jamnik. I'm ER Shred Health Coach / Nutrition Coach. And I'm really excited to be here with you guys tonight. Tonight, I'm going to get into really a lot of fun things. You know, we are 7 weeks away from the ER Shred being 2 years old. October of 2020, we launched the ER Shred, and it has just absolutely exploded since then. And I want to get in tonight to what is the 11-day ER Shred protocol, break down the systems in there. Why does it work so well? Why are there so many people that have been around here for 2 years, a year and a half, a year plus, people that have been around for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shreds? This is just absolutely unheard of in the health and wellness space. For those of you that are just joining, drop into the comments, say hello, let me know where it is that you're coming in from, and drop in and let people know, you know, throughout this chat, if you've been a part of the ER Shred, what it's done for you, what you've learned, what your results are. So the more people that share what's going on, you know, some people might be stuck, some people might be on the fence, some people might be thinking about it, some people might just have thrown their hands up and been like, you know what? I have tried so many freaking things now that I just give up. Like, how many of you were there before you found ER Shred? How many of you are there right now? What's up, Isabel? What's up, Chris? Thanks for joining. Drop in, say hello. Let me know where you're coming from. If you have people that you know that are struggling with their health, with their fitness, with something that's going on, if you know that they're fed up, if they've tried a bazillion different programs, a bazillion different diets before, invite them to this call, whether it's live, whether it's on replay, it doesn't matter. But the more people that we can get this information in front of, the more lives that we can change. And that's truly the mission from the top, from the board at the ER Shred. Our only mission is to truly help people just live an optimal, everyday quality of health. Like, we just want people to feel good. You know, how many people out there are suffering right now? You know, I'm a health coach, and I've been fortunate enough over the years. I've been in this industry for two decades now, 20 plus years. And I've seen it all, right? I've seen it all. And I've seen people, you know, that, you know, they struggle when they bend over to tie their shoe. How many people know somebody? Raise your hand, drop in, let me know, hit the thumbs up button. Like, how many people know somebody that when they bend over and tie their shoe, it's a struggle for them? They're losing breath. How many people know somebody that, you know, comes home from work and doesn't have any more energy to play with their children, and they might really want to? How many people wake up every day, and this one's really sad, but how many people wake up every single day and they're just so frustrated, they're so unconfident with themselves that confidence, that low confidence level, carries over into their relationships, carries over into their work. It affects every aspect of someone's life. You know, I'm not here to shame anybody or to say anything bad about people, but I will tell you from just a science approach, from a overall well-being approach, you know, there's nothing good with being unhealthy. There's nothing good with carrying excess body fat. There's nothing good with your body being full of inflammation. There is nothing good that happens. And I truly believe in my soul that there's nobody that wakes up every single day, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I truly believe that nobody wakes up every single day and says, oh my God, I'm so excited to feel like shit today. I'm so excited to be unhealthy today. I'm so excited to be 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds overweight. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to put my clothes on and go out into the world. And again, I'm not saying this to make fun of somebody or to shame somebody, because if you actually knew me as a person, you would know that that's the absolute opposite of what I do in life, but unfortunately, it's the reality of what we face today. So real quick before I dive into what is the ER shred, why is it so powerful, why can it work for somebody who's 300 pounds and needs to lose weight, why can it work for somebody who's just looking to lose those last 10 to 12 to 15 to 20, what we call sticky pounds or stubborn weight. How many people have been stuck with that before? Let me know. Drop in. Let me know. There's so much of that going on. And, not only will we get into that, but why does this work for somebody like myself, who's an endurance athlete? I run ultra marathons. So those are anywhere from, they start at 30 miles, but typically mine and my wife's sweet spot is 50 to 100 miles. We're leaving next Wednesday to go run a 50-mile race with 12,000 feet of elevation gain, somewhere around there. And that's just gain, never mind descent. It's gnarly. Why can it work for somebody like us? And then also, why can it work for somebody who maybe is struggling to get up off the chair right now? Maybe you're coming back from an injury. Maybe you're 40 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight, whatever the case may be. And before I get into that, I just want to share with you guys a little bit for anybody who's not met me before. Hi, I'm Jesse. Nice to meet you. Jesse James Jamnik. I don't know how I go by 3 names. It doesn't make, nobody does that, but somehow, my middle name really is James. So, Outlaw Jesse James is just kind of stuck and people called me that. And that's just kind of how it was. So, for me, growing up as a little kid, was really tough for me. I can relate to so many people. People look at me now and they go, "Oh God, Jesse, it's so easy for you. Like, look at those fitness videos you put up and look at the races that you run." And, you see the story, you see Jesse now, but you don't see the years of struggle. You don't see the years of depression. You don't see the years of investing in self-development courses. You don't see the years of, all the stupid mistakes that I made and the life that I chose to live, which wasn't good, and the roundabout things. And nobody sees all of that, right? They only see now, right? They see the hero. They don't see the story. And everybody has a story. I tell all my clients this. I'm like, do you truly think that it's easy for me? Like, do you think that every day I wake up and at 4 a.m., like, do you really think I want to get up every single day? Do you truly believe that when I work out, like, I don't hurt? I don't feel like I want to vomit. My legs aren't shaking. My arms aren't shaking. I go so much that I can't lift another thing. You don't think that if I went too heavy for the next day, especially the next 2 days, I don't struggle to sit down on the toilet after a big leg day? Well, you would be sadly mistaken. Like, I am just an average person, and my passion lies in nutrition and fitness. It is the one thing over the last 20 years that I have been the most consistent with as I go through. So I just remind people to, never compare yourself to somebody else's journey. We've all heard before that comparison is the thief of all joy. Comparison's the thief of all joy. And you'll go, "Yeah, Jesse, I've heard that before." And I just want to challenge you. Maybe you hear it a little bit differently this time. Maybe this is the time that you go, "You know what? He's right. Like, comparison really is the thief of all joy. I can't compare myself to somebody who's been doing something repetitiously for the last 20 years of their life, and I'm just on day 10, or I'm on day 5, or I'm on day 21, or I'm on month 6. Like, you are still years behind all of the mistakes that I've made. And that's the only difference between somebody who looks like they actually have their stuff together. And notice how I say looks like they have their stuff together, to somebody who doesn't, especially. And again, I'm characterized. It really happens in business, but I'm going to really focus this on nutrition and fitness because that's my jam. That's my wheelhouse. That's what I'm here to talk to you guys about. So you can't necessarily do that. I got into fitness, I grew up a little fat kid, and I wasn't like obese and like really, really like crazy, but I was fat enough to be made fun of all the time. I don't know if anybody's grown up that way. It's bad enough as an adult. It wrecks you as an adult. But as a kid, it really did some damage. Self-confidence was that I didn't have any self-confidence. I didn't know really who a friend was because my friends were the ones who would make fun of me all the time. My friends were the ones who would be, oh, there's the fat kid, or there's this. And it was weird because you feel like you're part of something, but then you don't feel like it. And there's always that thing. And obviously when you're little, you don't really kind of know any different. And then as you get older and older, the situation changes as you can start thinking. And I had those thoughts. I was like, well, why don't I feel good enough for anybody? And why is this happening in life? And I used to ask all those questions too, just like I'm sure so many of you ask those same questions. Well, why does this have to happen to me? And why this and why that? And, I'm going to share with you over time, I've learned to shift that sneaking thinking to, instead of why is it happening to me, to be grateful that it is happening to me. And I've learned that everything that I've gone through that I once thought was like the bottom of the barrel, the worst part of my life, down and out, without that right now, without that, I wouldn't be the person I am today. If I didn't have to claw myself from the bottom of the barrel multiple times now, I don't think that I would be the person I am today. And why do I share that with you? Because if you're a person that's struggling, if you're a person that has any of those feelings, I'm just here to tell you that I know how you feel. I know how you feel. Don't let the person today that you see, my little square reel where everything looks perfect. It's not like that. There's still struggles. I still fight with those demons from past childhood. I still have to learn how to turn those voices down in my head. So I got into fitness because I thought I wanted to be the guy on a magazine. I thought I wanted to be the guy with the big muscles, and I didn't know that they were photoshopped, and I didn't know that they were all taking steroids, and I didn't know any of that at that point in time. Like, I just knew that I didn't want to be called the fat kid anymore. And I really got into fitness for really all the wrong reasons when I look back and think about it now. And everybody gets into fitness for their own reason. Whatever that reason is, that's your reason. And I've learned, I fought with that before. And then I've learned, I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, why am I going to fight it? It got me to where I'm at today. It got me started. And it really wasn't until, I played sports. I played hockey and I played baseball growing up. And I was always active. I was outside riding bikes and I was playing. But I didn't really get involved with the working out stuff and the real health and nutrition stuff until I was about 18 years old. I fell in love with the gym. At that point in time, I was really struggling. I did a small stint in the military. I was a complete, absolute asshole as a person. As a kid, I was looking for direction. I got the opposite. That's a whole nother situation, but it was a rough time. And I learned to put up these fake walls and these fake guards. I learned to pretend to be somebody that I wasn't because that's what I thought people needed to see. That's what came with me through my childhood. Like, it was always pretending to try to be somebody because that's what I thought I needed to do, and it's really not a fun place to be. It's stuff that I've done a lot of work with. I spent a lot of, tears on it. I spent a lot of emotion. I spent a lot of time blocking it. I spent a lot of time ruining relationships because of it. It's just been absolutely not a good thing, but I've learned to turn it into a good thing too. So I'm sharing all of this just to let you guys know that no matter where you're at, there's always a better place. There's always a better place. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be just given to you, and it's not just going to fly out of a book, and it's not just going to get handed to you by a coach. Like, you got to be willing to do the work. Hands down, my best health coaching clients ever, and I'm thinking of one in particular right now, and everything we talk about, everything we do, she just does the work, and she's willing to do the hard, and she's willing to ask the hard questions, and she's willing to cry, and she's willing to go through all the emotions. And I'm telling you from experience that it's not easy to do. But if you're willing to do that, there is absolutely the opposite side. As some of my mentors say, I've heard it from Ed Milet, I've heard it from other, top motivational self-development gurus and stuff. And on the opposite side of struggle, on the opposite side of discomfort, in your worst times, if you can just figure out how to go one more day, how to do one more fight, how to make it one more step, and you don't give up on yourself. On the opposite side of that, you find your best self. You find your best self. And man, when you find your best self and you find your stride, you are going to shoot through the stratosphere and things are just going to start figuring themselves out. And there's no magic to it. Like I said, I can't give you the magic sauce. You got to be willing to do the work. As a health coach, like I don't give people answers. I ask deeper questions. And, it's the opposite of what people think. Like they come to me thinking that I'm going to give them all the answers. And instead, I just make them come up with their own. I just ask tougher questions. I sit there and let them suffer through what seems to be agony, but it's not, right? So that's kind of how I got into fitness and what I do. What I do today, like I said, I'm an endurance athlete. I run ultra marathons. I'm very still big into the functional fitness and bodybuilding world. That's my jam. That's how I started. I will never, ever sacrifice lean muscle. Remember, lean muscle makes you harder to kill. We'll touch on that shortly. I will never sacrifice that for endurance. And again, I'm not like the best athlete. I'm not winning my races. I'm not doing this to win my races. I don't want to be that stick figure. I don't want to not eat certain things that I want to eat. Like that's just the way that I do this. So my wife and I, we are very happy. We are in the mid pack, what's called the mid pack. Like we always finish towards the front of the mid pack. So you have like your lead racers and then you have your mid pack. And we always finish like up at the top of the mid pack. So out of the very small percentage of people who are stupid enough to sign up and pay to run 50 miles or 100 miles or whatever the case may be, out of that small percentage, we find ourselves at the top. So that's where we are. There's many athletes that are way better than us. I'm not claiming to be the best. I'm not claiming to be the best nutrition guy. I've just spent 20 years of my life through trial and tribulation, through trying every program, through being the most disciplined and most consistent person that I know when it comes to this, whether it's waking up and doing my workouts, whether it's making sure I'm getting in whatever I was getting in through all my trials and tribulations, like that's what we do. And really the reason I'm doing it is just to live life to the fullest. We get to see some of the most epic, cool places. Like we're heading out next Wednesday to Squamish, British Columbia, just south of Whistler. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it is the most gorgeous place that I've ever seen in my entire life. You are literally looking at like these like turquoise blue oceans and the mountains jet right out of the ocean. So like here on the East Coast where you maybe like hike a mountain and you start at 2,000 and go to 4,000, from there you're at sea level and you go to like 6,000. So you're talking like epic hikes. That's where we're going. And I do this because it literally makes me feel alive. I've tried to stop explaining to people when they go, I don't understand. Like, why do you do that? How do you do that? And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to explain to you why. Like, it's just this thing, but it's pushing new boundaries. Like, I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be that average person. Like, I've had enough of that shit in my life. Like, I just want to see what's possible. And why not combine my joy of athleticism, my joy of nutrition, my joy of travel, my joy of pushing the boundaries. Like that's what it is for me. I'm also very soon, I will officially be able to call myself a nationally board certified health and wellness coach. I will be officially taking my exam in October. I haven't even posted much about it, but man, have I been grinding over these last few months through the school that we had to do. I had to donate and log 50 training sessions at a minimum of 20 to 25 minutes a piece. And I did all of that. And we had to make sure that we had these things notarized and we had to get this other stuff. And then that's just to be accepted for the test. And then the test will come, but I'm so confident that I'm going to smash that. And it's really a big goal for mine because health coaching is very, very different than you going to see the nutritionist. And it really takes, there's so much of health coaching that we put into the ER Shred protocol because we're not telling people what to do. We're not telling you necessarily what you can eat, what you can't eat and what you can't eat for the rest of your life. Like we're going to help you create your own blueprint. So, what I do is I simply help build a bridge for people from where they are to where they want to go. And I use my 20 years of real life experience, using myself as a human guinea pig, all the diets that I've tried, the trials and tribulations. Like I use my education, the thousands of dollars that I've spent in certifications and courses and programs and different things that are up. I use all of that. And obviously I use all the people that I've worked with already, because every single time I get to coach somebody, they don't even know it, but those people are coaching me and they're helping me learn more than I could ever even tell them. I know they think it's the other way around, but I'm telling you, like, as I'm health coaching, I'm writing notes down and I'm like, oh man, I need to do that. Oh shit, I should do that. Oh, that's a great tip. I'm going to do that. Like, it's the most beautiful thing ever. And I get to help people build that bridge. So what took me 20 years to figure out, I can help that person do in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Maybe it's 12, maybe it's 6 months, whatever the case may be, but it's a condensed period of time. And it's just my absolute passion. It's a very client-led thing. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply helping you create the life that you want. And that's really the main theme of the ER Shred. If what we do is we accept people in, we give people what they need, we provide them what they want. But then we give people what they need, right? We give people what they want. We lay the tracks for them. We give them the bridge to walk over, and then we give people what they need. And it's been one of the most amazing, epic journeys that I've ever been a part of. It's literally the most proud thing that I've ever done in my entire life, to be able to impact the lives of thousands of people. And to get messages every day like, thank you so much. You have no idea how much I needed to hear that. Like, here I am thinking I'm just this washed up asshole, screwed up life. And, I had to learn that, like, while I'm not perfect, while I don't have all of that, the knowledge and the stuff that I did learn, and you guys are the same thing. Like, those of you guys that have been around that continue to show up in our group, like, you have no idea, like, you're building that bridge for other people. And that's why it's so important to keep on sharing and keep telling people. And it doesn't matter if they want to, if they don't listen to you, great. But anybody who does want to listen, it's so important for you to keep sharing that message, because you're that bridge builder. And to change the life of a person creates a ripple effect. And as we've seen with the ER Shred, I mean, for 2 years in a row now, we have not stopped growing. There has not been 1 month that we have not had a couple hundred people at least join our ER Shred community, which you can get to for free at ershrednation.com. I believe that's the site. I just drew a brain fart. But so I do that. So endurance athlete, soon to be national board certified health coach. And then I also am a functional nutritionist geek. I love functional nutrition. And what that means is it helps set a person up for optimal health. There's so many different avenues. There's so many pathways that an individual can take when they're getting healthy. And I love functional medicine because it looks at every person as what we are. We're human beings, right? We're human beings. We're a big walking dish of bacteria, and we're trillions of little circles, these little things called cells. And I think sometimes we forget about that, but that's really all we are as human beings. And functional nutrition is giving people the foundation. We're helping people build the foundation. And then from there, we teach you to be the architect of your own blueprint. It's the most beautiful thing, because what happens if we don't build a solid foundation in anything, whether we build a house, whether we build a company, whether we build our nutrition, then if we don't have a solid foundation, we're going to keep going backwards. How many people have been on yo-yo diets? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You start one thing, you do it for 2 weeks, you really don't build a solid foundation. You're not being taught how to do anything. You're just being handed a fish. You're not being taught how to fish, right? And I can't stand that, because it doesn't work. It falls into a very, very what's called rigid way of dieting. And statistically, by the numbers, it just doesn't work. So that's me. Again, there's been many of failures. There's been many of different paths, many of long roads. I went through the same thing as all of you. What exercises should I do? What types of foods should I eat? When should I eat those foods? How do I go to the grocery store? How do I know if I'm being lied to? Are these scientific studies that people post? Are these things that I look in magazines? Are those real? Are those fudged? How do you know any of that? And I get it. It's so confusing, and it's so frustrating, and it's so aggravating. And that is one of the most beautiful things about ER Shred, about what we do, is building that bridge for people. We just eliminate that bullshit. We just cut through all the nonsense. We're giving you things that, while we know, the basic foundation will work for anyone, we also appreciate that everyone is different. We appreciate that not everybody wants to go at life the way that I do, or the way that Sean does, one of our co-founders. Like, maybe you don't want to be that hardcore. Maybe you don't want to do that. You don't have to. Maybe you just want to be healthy. Maybe you want your blood pressure to be in check. Maybe you want your cholesterol to be in check. Maybe you want to fit into those jeans that you have that are sitting in your closet that you've kept now for the last 4 years, hoping and praying and dreaming and wishing that you could fit into again. Maybe that's your goal. And if that's your goal, we support everybody here. We support everybody. And the most beautiful thing is there is no, like, yeah, we have our board. And yeah, we got Sean and Crystal, and we got me, and we got Susan, and we got Heather, and we got Bob. And, we got that. But we're not perfect. And we don't ever pretend to be perfect. We don't ever pretend to have all the answers. We never have from day one, and we're not going to start now. Like, that's not what this is about. And that's the most beautiful thing, because I'll tell you, I've tried literally every single thing, from carb counting to macro counting to, protein, low protein, high protein, carbs, no carbs, fat. I mean, you name it. I've tried the juice diets, the cleanses, like, over the years, the pre-workout, the protein powders, the creatine tablets, the BCAAs, like, you name it, I've done it. And I was so strict. I was so strict on every one. And there was never really one that I can think back to and be like, wow, that was the one. And it's because what I know today is there is no one for every single person. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And it's just not there, because your food could be my poison, and my food could be your poison. I could thrive on broccoli, and you could be ripped apart. I could thrive on a little bit of added sugar, and you could be ripped apart. I could thrive on a little bit of carbohydrate, and you could be ripped apart. So it's not a one size fits all. Like, that doesn't exist. So all of these programs that are out there, all of these diets that are out there, all of these things that are promising the world, I'm just so fed up with it. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to jump all in the beginning, is because I saw something so different with this. One, it came from a very good friend of mine who I trust, two very good friends of mine, Sean and Crystal Escobar. I watched them personally go through a health battle and struggle. I've watched this protocol radically shift their life. I've tried and tested it myself. And over the last 2 years, oh my God, the results speak for themselves. Like, if you've had results, drop them into the comments, please, and let people know. Keep it simple, keep it short. Let people know whether it's how many inches you lost, or what you gained back in your life. What did you shred? What bad beliefs did you get rid of? How much weight did you lose? How many inches did you lose? Are you able to play with your grandkids again? Are you able to play with your kids again? Are you able to be more confident every day that you wake up and put on your clothes? Are you able to be more confident every day when you take off your clothes? Yes, we are human beings. We need interaction. Like, that's not talked about. Like, why? Why is that not talked about? Like, there's nothing off limits here. So we welcome every single person, right? But I get where you guys have been. I know what you're going through. And it's really tough. So what's the problem today? What is the problem that we're facing today? Why are there so many people struggling? Why is 88% of the population, of the adult population, why is 88% of them deemed metabolically unhealthy? Meaning that there's some critical factor in their health scheme, whether it's their cholesterol, their blood pressure, they got autoimmune disease, they have, something, right? Something's going on. 88% of people are considered metabolically unhealthy. That is some scary shit. So what is going on? Like, do you really need me to tell you that you should probably not, eat all the sugar, and you should eat more fruits and vegetables, and you should eat good quality protein? Like, Do you really need somebody to tell you that? I don't think you do. I think every single person knows that. I think we know that. But the question I always ask people that are looking to, come on as a coaching client is I'm like, well, if you know that, why haven't you done it? If you know it, why haven't you done it? Why are you still in this position? Why are you still here? Why have you made the same New Year's resolutions now for the same 5 years? And each year it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse, not better and better and better. Why? Why is that? Right? And I wrote down some things, and I think the biggest problems that are facing us today is that more people are just so confused. People are more confused than ever before, and they don't know which direction to go. And rightfully so. I mean, unless you are a science geek like me and you spend every free second of your life listening to a nutrition podcast, reading a new nutrition book, looking at the most updated research. Do you even know how to read the research? Do you know if it's fake? Do you know if it's falsified? Do you know if it's been fudged? Do you know where the money's coming from? Do you know if it's been, double blind, is it a double blind placebo? Has it been peer reviewed? Is that peer reviewed skewed? Do you know? Like, how would you know? So people are so confused because there is way too many gurus in the nutrition space today that are just not formally trained. I mean, we have things like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and, whatever, Pinterest and all other kinds of platforms now, where if you somehow figured out how to get your body to look good and you were able to, get lean and swole or whatever, you grew a big butt, you got big thighs, whatever people were looking for. If you made that happen for your body, all of a sudden you're an expert. All of a sudden you have all the answers for every single person. And it's just the saddest thing because there's so much bad information out there. I did a live a couple weeks ago and I told you that, out of all the information that's out there, out of all the books that are written, something like 14% of the top selling authors are doctors. And unless that doctor has gone outside of medical school and specifically studied nutrition, the amount of education that you learn going through medical school, nursing school, or any of the such is so null and void, it's not even funny. They don't talk about how food can heal. They don't talk about food as medicine. They don't talk about food as not food, but what are the molecules that make up that food? And can those molecules serve our bodies? Can those molecules help fight and prevent disease? Or will those molecules help fuel disease instead? Will they keep putting us on the wrong path, or will they steer us in the right direction? Unless you've gone above and beyond the traditional medical teaching, you don't know that information. And so all the information that we're being fed are from either people that figured out how to make their body work, and it's not even that they're healthy, because you can make your body look good but not be healthy. That's a true thing. You can be skinny but be extremely fat on the inside and very, very unhealthy. So where are we getting our information from? We're getting it from that. The other big percentage of the books are done by like actors or people that have a celebrity status. Well, shit. I mean, that's the person to go to. That's like if you need to learn how to make money and you're getting your information from the person who's $20,000 in debt, you're probably getting your information from the wrong freaking person. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to nutrition. Where are you getting that information from? And I remember back in the day, I would get it from the bros in the gym. We call it bro science. It's a real thing. I would get it from the magazines. I would get it from an article that I got, an email that I saw. Oh, if it was a website, holy shit, it must be real. If it was a website, it was legit. If it can be found on Google, you got to know that it's real, right? Like if it's found on Google, it's 100% true. And that's the problem. That's the problem when it comes to nutrition. It's crazy. Like we don't contest so many things, but yet nutrition is the most contested subject in all of research. And it's a nasty field out there. People just don't understand that. If some research scientists are some of the most toxic people you'll ever meet in your entire life. It's a very territorial area. Everybody wants to find the one molecule that can really skyrocket them ahead and get them published or get them, some sort of award or get them this. Like, they're trying to do their career too. So while I love science and I love evidence, I'm going to steal a term that's been coined by one of my newer mentors, Max Lugavere, who runs one of the most amazing podcasts that I've honestly listened to, and it's called The Genius Life. And I just love the fact that Max is so practical. I love that he's down to earth. He is a wicked smart dude. I mean, some of the stuff that he can memorize, and I mean, he got into this field because his mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he went on this whole thing being like, no, there's got to be a different way, and that's how he got into it. And I kind of got on that journey because of my childhood and the way that I was. And it's crazy. The people that are trying to lead are the ones who have been through the biggest struggles. And then people will say, oh, it's so easy. No, it's not easy. It's just that we kept fighting, right? So, but he says be evidence-based, but not evidence-bound. Be evidence-based, but not evidence-bound. That is so powerful. How many times do we just we hear something and it's like, oh, this research says this. So boom, we just drop our pants and we just go with it. Like, there's no questions. There's no follow-up. There's no what was the laboratory conditions like? Were these people given an entire medical team? Can you take that laboratory experience and actually put it into real practical life? What about people that are moms and dads? What about people that have kids running around? What about people that got to get out the door and get their kids ready in the morning and they have to go to work? And then when they come home from work, they have to worry about all of that and feed the kids and clean the house and take the dogs. And what about all of that? What about the people that run businesses and don't have time? Is it practical, right? Is it practical? So the advice that we're getting is not necessarily practical. It's not practical. We're getting this advice and we're being told to do it, but how the hell can we implement it? How can we implement it? You'll come to learn, whether you're part of the ER Shred community, whether you've done 1 shred, 4 shreds, 5 shreds, 10 shreds, 12 shreds, whatever the case may be, you will learn that everything we do is so practical. It is so practical. One of the most common responses that we get from people when we ask them, what was it like? The most common response that people have given us is, it was the easiest thing I've ever done. Anybody who's on this call, if this was the easiest thing you've ever done, drop into the comments, #easiest thing ever. #easiest thing ever. Let people know, because this is not supposed to be hard. And that's one of the things that I'm so proud of, is that I can take all this crazy research and all this fancy schmancy mumbo jargon and make it so that a 12-year-old can understand it. A freaking 12-year-old can understand it. My daughter can understand it. She understands it's not good food versus bad food. It's sometimes foods versus all the times foods. I'm not doing this because I need to be the girl in the magazine. I'm doing it because I deserve to be healthy. I'm doing it because I deserve to feel amazing every single day of my life. I am a human being. I am literally created and designed to function and thrive at peak optimal levels. So we have to understand that, right? And then we have big pharma and big food is another reason this doesn't work. I don't know. I'm not going to get into all of this because everybody knows how corrupt this shit is. But yet we turn a blind eye. We look the other way. We just keep buying their nonsense. There's a reason that all this shit is sold in the store. You keep buying it. If you don't buy it, they won't make it. If you don't buy it, they won't make it. But yet we keep buying it and buying it and buying it. And I understand it's tricky, and I understand it's addictive, and I understand they duped us. But at the end of the day, we got to take back control of our lives. So many people you leave your life up to somebody else. You leave your life up to a doctor. You leave your life up to, your mom's niece's nephew. I get it. I get it. People are trying. They're not trying to necessarily dupe you, but where are you getting that advice from, right? So that's some of the biggest problems that we face today. So what can we do about it? What can we do about it? If optimal health is what we want, if we still want to be able to live a little bit, we don't want to be so rigid. We want to feel good daily. We want to feel good naked. We want to feel good with clothes on. We want to feel confident in every situation of our life, whether it's relationships, dating, spouse, dealing with kids, dealing with negatives, whatever it is, dealing with work. Health affects everything. You know, this is not just some like superficial, like I need to like lose weight. Like, no, like this affects everything. So what can we do, right? Well, you could spend thousands of dollars. You could spend thousands of hours like I did. You can do all the trials and tribulations. You can go through all of it. And some of you have. Some of you have. Some of you have been through all the nonsense. And I feel your pain. But for those of you that are looking for a shortcut, what do? You find something where there's so much undeniable proof. There's so many undeniable results. And then you dive in. You dive in like something like the ER Shred. I mean, we have 26,000 members now, just about 26,000 members in our community, ER Shred Nation. It's a free Facebook group, right? It is one of the most loving, supporting communities that you have ever been a part of in your entire life. And it's there for everybody for free. So you could do that, or you could just join others, thousands of others, and be open-minded and be willing to try new things. Don't worry about what the magazine taught you. Don't worry about the past things. Don't worry about the past failures. You know, I can't tell you how many times people say, yeah, I did something like that. No, you have not. You have not done anything like this. I don't care if you drank a protein shake in your past life. You haven't done this. This protocol is set up specifically to get to the root cause very, very quickly. And then it's set up to lay the foundational groundwork for you to keep building on, to lay the foundational groundwork for you to build your own individual blueprint when it comes to food, when it comes to the way you want to think, when it comes to the way that you want to live. Like, that's what this is. It is so much bigger than just losing weight. But so many people lose weight. Why? Because 88% of the population is metabolically unhealthy. And when you remove all the garbage and only put in the good, what do you think is going to happen? So that's what you can do, right? So you can head over to our Facebook group, join the ER Shred. I'm going to do my best to explain why it fits for everybody. Take your health more seriously. Your health is your greatest wealth. Without your health, you can't do anything. I tell every big executive I talk to, whoever, I don't care who you are, how successful you are. If you don't have your health, you can't keep doing what you're doing. Exclamation mark. It doesn't matter, right? Like, think about it. Think about that. If you don't have your health, you cannot keep doing everything that you want. So what is the 11-day ER Shred, right? What is this? It's an 11-day protocol. That is the beginning. It is not 11 days and peace out. You can do that, but you're not coming in this the right way. You're not coming in it with the right mindset. You're coming in it with that old stinking thinking of, I need a pill to fix me now. You know, we've all seen the memes, right? You know, you have the two lines and you have the one line that says quick fix, give me a pill. And then you have the other line that says diet, lifestyle, and nutrition. And you got like one person in that line and you got like thousands in the other. While there's people that want to do the right thing and while there's right things out there, there also has to be self-respect. There has to be a self-inner drive to get you to go where you want to go. You can have all the information that you want. You've heard that saying, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And it's the same thing for people. It's the same thing for people, right? So what is the 11-day ER Shred? It's an 11-day health protocol. And what do? We eliminate is step one. What are we eliminating? This is not about deprivation. This is not about starvation. This is not about that you can't have fun with people. This is about getting serious and actually stepping up to the plate and taking back control of your life. We don't tiptoe around here. We don't play games around here. Health is too serious of a topic for me. I take health too seriously. My health, other people's health. Like, I take other people's health more seriously than them. That's a thing that I got to let go of. But I do, because I care about other people. right? And you got to look at it like, when we eliminate, what are we eliminating? We're eliminating all the known triggers, all the known factors, all the known foods, mostly sugar, processed foods, processed grains, enriched bleached white flour, all of these chemicals and potions and concoctions that have been put into our food system that are classified as food that I call just dog shit, because that's what it is. Literally, it serves zero nutritional value whatsoever. It is serving disease, not health. So to me, that's why it's dog shit. Like, if it doesn't serve us, right? Is there room for that? Yes, and I'll explain that to you, but it's very, very minimal. So we eliminate all of that. All the things that are causing disruptions, we get you to strip all of that out. And when you do that, you are then going to give your body the chance to be the miracle that your body was designed to be. When you stop flooding your blood with all sorts of blood sugar, when you stop overloading your kidneys, when you stop ripping apart your intestinal lining and creating micro tears from all the garbage and nonsense and pollutants and toxins and additives that you put in and alcohol that you do. When you stop all of that, you give the body a chance to actually do what the body's supposed to do. The body is supposed to heal itself. The body is supposed to repair itself. The body is supposed to work in synergy with itself. Every system that you have in your body is supposed to work in hand with itself. But because of our choices, we've clogged that up. So we eliminate all of that nonsense. Then we have our reset part of the protocol. The reset, we take advantage of nutritional cellular intermittent fasting. This is not window eating. This is not time restricted eating. This is not any of those mainstream media things that you see. This is something completely different. This is completely based off of research and science. Again, we don't have time to play games around here. People's health is too important to us. So we help you reset. Now, we're not giving you anything magical that's going to reset you. Again, what we're doing is we're allowing your body, your magic gift, to actually come back to life. We're allowing your body to do what it's supposed to do. So when you do a cellular fast, and there is so much research on this, okay, you are bringing your body back to baseline. You are re-regulating all of the important hormones. Your whole body is basically driven by hormones, and you're going to reset, hormones like serotonin and ghrelin, hunger hormones and mood hormones. You're going to reset, things like your insulin sensitivity. Because right now, so many people are insulin resistant, and insulin is like the mother of all hormones. And so many of us don't have control of it. It's not doing its job because we've abused it. We've beaten it up. We've destroyed it. We've bombed it over and over and over again. And then we expect it to perform, and it can't do that. So we need to strip out all the bad stuff. We need to give the body a break. Think of it as like an oil change for your car. If you just keep driving your engine, it's eventually going to explode. Now, the body's going to take way longer than an engine in the car to explode, but eventually it's going to explode. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are starting to see this now in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And that's like ridiculous. Like 40, 50, and 60 is not old. It is not old. You could be living well into your 80s and 90s, living a great, optimal every day of health. In great health, you can tie your own shoes. You can go to the bathroom by yourself. You can put your own clothes on. You can drive yourself places. But you've got to take your health serious. They say that Alzheimer's actually starts 30 to 40 years prior to you getting your first symptoms. And we know that one of the direct causes of it is inflammation, is sugar, is processed food, processed carbs, seed oils, all the things that are clogging up the body. There is not a brain-body barrier like was once thought in medicine. It's all connected. We're ruining our guts, right? So we get your body to get back to that baseline, and then we shred. And shredding is not about muscles. I know shredding, technically, you think, oh, that guy's shredded, that girl's shredded. That's not what shredding is with ER Shred. Shredding can be a lot of things. Shredding can be, what old beliefs are you shredding? What unwanted inflammation are you shredding? What unwanted body fat are you shredding? What unwanted bad habits are you shredding? Like, what unwanted people are you shredding from your life? What negative people are you getting rid of so you can have a clear headspace, right? And more importantly, when we shred, we're choosing to fuel our bodies with super dense, nutrient-packed foods only. We're only going to put food into the body that is going to serve a purpose to help our body heal, regrow, repair, fix the damage, whatever it is that we've done. We're only going to put into the body the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients that our cells need. Remember, we are just 1 trillion cells as humans and a walking petri dish of bacteria. That's all we are. We are just simply going to give our bodies what they were designed to get. We're going to actually start to fuel ourselves like our ancestors used to do. That's why, I always talk about the ER Shred as being the ancestral way combined with the 21st century research, because that's what it is. We're utilizing all of the most current up-to-date research, but it's the ancestral way of being. We're eating from the land, from the sea, from the ground. We're making sure that our sourcing is of the highest quality. We're not putting in suboptimal fuel and expecting a Ferrari to run on peak optimal performance. We understand that in order to run like that, we have to give it what it needs. We have to take away what doesn't belong and only put in. So while we are eliminating other things, we are massively adding in so much more. And this is why nobody feels like they're starving. Nobody feels like they're deprived. All the cravings are going away. Nobody's having withdrawals. Yeah, you might have 1, 2, 3 bad days. I don't know how long it is you've been abusing yourself. And if that's the case, well, you got to learn how to suck it up. Sometimes you got to suck it up and trudge through the shit to get to the other side. I'll be happy to remind you about that. But for the most part, we're only putting in nutrient-dense foods, and people are thriving like never before. And we provide unconditional, unwavering support. It is unmatched anywhere in any of the industry. The word family is thrown out a lot, but this is literally like an extended family. The way that our culture is, people are welcomed for who they are. We don't care who you are. We don't care what you've done. We don't care what you look like. We don't care if you've messed up. We don't care if you mess up, quote unquote, while you're doing this. We're going to explain to you that you're not messing up at all. I used to think I messed up all the time. All the past things that I did was just a waste of time. And it's not. What I've learned from one of my mentors, Ed Milet, who's one of the most successful businessmen in all the world, right? I learned from him that it's called compound pounding. And think of like a piñata, right? How many times do you put up a piñata and the first person hits it, and the second person hits it, and the third person hits it, and the first person hits it, and people just keep hitting it. And yet that freaking piñata is still there. And yet that last person comes up, that very, very last person. Everybody else has lost their attitude. And that person takes that swing and boosh, that piñata burst open. All the candy, I'm going to say all the grass-fed beef goes flying everywhere. And that person's the hero. But is that person the hero? No. Every single person, every single shot you've taken, every single chance you've taken, every single program you've done, every single exercise you've done, everything you failed at, everything you've succeeded at, everything is part of compound pounding. And that's the beautiful thing. And that's why you can't quit. Because if you quit, you'll never get to be that last kid. You'll never get to be that hero of your own life. So we teach you that through shredding. We teach you that because when you fuel the body, I'm not kidding you, your health is your greatest wealth. When you change your health and you feel freaking epic every day, you're gonna fly through the stratosphere. You're gonna do things and feel things that you've never felt before in your entire life. It's just the way that it happens, friends. It's just the way that it happens. Okay? So that's that. Why is this so powerful? We literally have a couple handfuls, I'm not joking, of people that have been with us now shredding that have lost 80 to 100 plus pounds. We have hundreds of people that have lost 15 to 30 pounds, those stuck, sticky, icky pounds that no matter what you've done, you couldn't get rid of. How many of you have been there before? Drop in, let me know. I know there's a lot of you. We have hundreds of people that have lost 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds. I don't even know how many thousands of inches are combined in there. But if you think about that, it's solid proof that we are losing the right kind of fat. We are shifting metabolic health. And again, we can't treat you, cure you, prevent disease. But I know, I believe in my soul that as a human being, if you just give the body a fighting chance, the body will heal itself. And that fighting chance is the protocol. That fighting chance is allowing the reset, getting rid of the garbage, only putting in the good stuff, eating like a king or queen, never knowing you could eat this good, never knowing you could feel this full and satisfied. But yet you are, and you're getting results like never before. Why are so many people coming onto our calls and saying, I got rid of alcohol, I got rid of Diet Coke, literally in the first 11 days. We didn't tell you to get rid of it. You chose to get rid of it. Why is that? Why is that? Ask yourself that. Do you see that anywhere else? Do you see people sticking around? Do you see people on other Yahoo yo-yo diet plans that actually stick around for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months? I have never in my career had people come back and go, hey, can I do it again? How many days do I need to wait? Can I do it again? That's how amazing it makes you feel. That's how awesome it is. That's how fulfilled you are. People are begging to do it again. Of course you can do it again. What are we doing? Taking out the garbage, putting in the good. We're not doing anything radical. We're not doing anything crazy. We're teaching you how to utilize 21st century research. We're teaching you how to make sure that you select a company that when you have protein shakes and other supplements, they're third-party tested. We're making sure that we're holding that company accountable. We're making sure that you understand things like grass-fed beef and how it's one of the most nutrient-dense superfoods in the entire world. All that false information about beef is such bullshit. We're teaching you how to balance everything. We're teaching you how to bring foods back in. We're not just teaching you how to eliminate foods. We're teaching you how to bring foods back in. We're teaching you how to build your own blueprint. But why is this? Why are people saying this? Why is the brain fog going away? Why is all the confidence coming back in people? Like, what the hell is going on? While I can 100% agree with you that every single person on this journey is different, every single person has a different journey, we are still human beings. We still need certain things that allow our bodies to thrive. And that's exactly what the ER Shred is doing. Again, it's eliminating the bad, the sugars, the flours, the dyes, the pesticides, the artificial ingredients, the high fructose corn syrup, all the stuff that causes disease, inflammation. It's the root cause of every major disease out there, guys. Inflammation. And yet we can squash it by just removing the inflammatory stuff and only fueling the body with rocket fuel. It's that simple. But we have the support there for you because we know that while it's simple, it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, especially if you've been on the wrong path for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years. We appreciate it's not easy. We've all been there. That's why I wanted to share my story with you in the beginning. It doesn't get easier. You get stronger. It doesn't get easier. You learn how to deal with things. You learn how to overcome. And it's, how do you do this? Step by step, piece by piece, little by little, one foot in front of the other. One more, yes, one more day, one more shred. You just go one more. And we help you do that. We support you through the way. So I've said it a bazillion times, but we just eliminate the garbage. It's so simple that the average human mind's like, oh no, there's got to be something more to it. There's not. There's not. It's as simple as take out the bad, put in the good. Watch what happens. I mean, I don't. You want me to tell you that I can cast a wand and make you better? Okay, great. I can do that for you. Do you want me to sprinkle fairy dust? Okay, great. I can do that for you. Like, I can tell you all that shit that the industry would tell you, but that's not why we're here. Like, we're here to cut through that. We're here to give practical advice. Okay. So we allow people to learn what it's like to be fueled the right way. You know, I can appreciate that the initial 11-day protocol is very rigid. You cannot add anything to the 11-day protocol. But I'm going to tell you that the rigidity of the first 11 days is not what's going to get you to be successful long term. It is just not going to happen. You cannot be that rigid unless that's really your jam. But all the research that's out there shows that the majority of people do way, way better when it comes to what's called flexible dieting, flexibility in their life. And with the ER Shred, because we focus on the foundation and we build that rock solid foundation, that foundation can then withstand a category 3, 4, and 5 hurricane. That foundation can withstand, the mess ups. That foundation can withstand the oopsies. And we allow people the space to make those mistakes. We allow people the flexibility to find their own way. This is not about Jesse telling you what to eat and what not to eat. This is not about you copying everything that Sean does or Susan Rothman does or Heather Seeker-Leonard does. This is not about that. This is about you and your own individual journey. And we know that when we teach you the foundation, but the problem is that so many of you are coming here and you spent so many years doing bad to yourself, whether it's being lazy, sitting down, not moving as much as you know you should, not putting in the right foods, eating way too much fried food too late, drinking way too much alcohol, smoking too much, whatever the case may be, you know what you've done. And you just got to be real with yourself. And the only way that we can get you to realize how powerful of a drug food is to give you a rigid 11 days, is to really let the body get to baseline and to let you experience what it's going to be like to feel like that. And then what it's going to feel like on the opposite side when you no longer feel that shitty anymore. It's amazing how many people don't even know how bad they felt until they don't feel that way anymore. It absolutely blows my mind still to this day. And that's what we allow people to do. One of the books that I really, really love, one of my new mentors, Alan Argan, he wrote a book called Flexible Dieting, and I just want to share a little piece with you. This is one of the reasons why I think ER Shred works so amazing, and I didn't even know that all this was out there until recently. We've been doing this for 2 years. Just goes to show you that we just went off on intuition. We went off trial and error. We went off what's worked with other people. But flexible versus rigid diet restraint, which eventually came to be called diet control, has been studied extensively since the early 1990s. Flexible dietary control has consistently been associated with favorable outcomes, while rigid dietary control has consistently been associated with symptoms of eating disorders, particularly binge eating. That sounds like fun. And a lack of successful body weight regulation. So in a nutshell, what's that saying? Is the more rigid the diet, and what is a rigid diet? Here's your meal plan. Here's exactly what you can eat. You can have these many ounces of chicken. You can have this many spears of asparagus. You can have this many things of this. You can have this many things of that. Lillian, you are going to love it. It is one of the best books ever written. She just bought the book, Flexible Dieting. I highly recommend it to anybody who really wants to start to understand the truth. The truth, okay? Without the bullshit, without the hoopla, like the truth. Evidence-based, but not evidence-bound. Evidence-based, but not evidence-bound, right? Flexible dieting is the way to go. So while I live my life one way, and I'm more on a 90-10 lifestyle, meaning that 90% of the time, I would actually say 95% of the time, I am choosing only rocket fuel, but that's because I want to take my 42-year-old ass on a 50-mile journey and be able to climb 12,000 feet of vertical gain and come back down and cross the finish line. That's my choice. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But I can use the foundation of the ER shred, the fundamentals of the protocol. I fuel my body. Protein, non-negotiable, right? Taking out the sugars, the high processed flours, they serve no purpose. I personally do not drink. I drink very, very little. Maybe I'll have a beer here and there. If I do anything, I'll have a vodka with some seltzer and a lime. Like, it just doesn't serve me anymore. I used to drink like a fish when I was younger, but it just doesn't serve me anymore. But there is a place for that for people who enjoy a glass of wine. Again, this isn't about not doing things forever. It's a short period of time to get your ass in gear so you can have that realization, so you can get the baseline, so you can regulate your hormones. And then from that solid foundation, we can build from there. And you'll notice when you come into the group, there's people always asking, like, what can I buy? What can I do? What can I this? And you'll see me asking more questions. And I'll say, well, what do you feel like you want to do? And when you eat that, how does it make you feel? Do you feel good? Do you feel like you want to curl up in a ball and die? Well, if you feel like you want to curl up in a ball and die, I would highly suggest that you don't eat that again. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's common sense. Sometimes we just need a little bit of a push. And that's the beautiful thing about the community. That's the beautiful thing about ER Shred Nation, Shredder Nation, as we call it, right? That's the beautiful thing. So, that's really the key. And, the fundamentals of it are, not only are we eliminating and we're only fueling our body with nutrient dense stuff, we are coming to realize that one of the main reasons that everybody can stick with this is because we have done what's called a non-negotiable in the world of nutrition. And that is get everybody to eat the right amount of quality protein. And it doesn't matter if you want to do a little bit more carbs or you want to do a little bit more fat down the road. All of that is irrelevant. There are many different paths to health, my friends. But there are some things that are non-negotiable. And one of those things is protein. And one of those things is making sure that you get in your daily vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, especially your trace minerals, things like your electrolytes you need to make sure that are balanced. And we teach people how to do that. So instead of just giving people a fish, we are teaching people to fish. And I believe that is one of the most crucial things that makes this so different than everything else that's out there, is that we take the time to teach people versus just trying to tell you what we think is best for you. Because again, my food could absolutely be your poison. So I just want to look real quick to make sure, again, I already told you, we get everybody from myself to weightlifters. We have people who are thriving. We have people in their mid 80s. We have children who are taking after their mom and dad. I mean, this is literally touching the souls of every walk of life. It doesn't matter who you are. Every single person can benefit from removing the poison and only putting in the rocket fuel. So we have all sorts of members that are crushing it. And, it's just as simple as that. So, I hope that if you were on the fence, I hope if you were somebody who was maybe thinking about this, go through, read the comments. There's people posting in there, 70 plus pounds, over 100 inches gain belief in myself and the ability to do all things, from running to being able to be actively engaged in playing with my granddaughters. That's Kathy Martinez. I mean, there's so many people, that are on here. People have been doing this for 19 months. People that have just transformed their entire life, people that have learned to trudge through the shit, people that thought that they couldn't do it. Like, every walk of life is here. And that's the most beautiful thing about the ER Shred community, is that while you're on your own journey, you are never alone. You are on your own journey, but you are never alone. So I hope that serves some of you. I hope some of you that, sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. But I hope some of you that, maybe had some questions, maybe didn't understand really the bigger picture. For those of you that are shredding, maybe, I don't know where you're at. Some people say, well, how long should I do this? Well, again, every day of my life, I live the fundamentals. I'm making sure that I'm getting in my high quality, my dense nutrition, my grass-fed beefs, my pasture-raised chicken, my pasture-raised eggs. I'm getting in my fruits and vegetables that I found to work with my blueprint, the ones that serve my body. I am an endurance athlete. I do utilize certain carbohydrates at certain times of the day. That is for me. There's going to be some people that understand, that realize that, carbs don't serve them in their life. And that's perfectly okay. If that's you, go for that. And there's going to be some people that learn that they need a little bit of that and it makes them feel better. And okay, if that's you, go for that. And there's going to be some people that want to do higher fat and lower carbs. Like, go for that. If you want to know, like, what I do is I am a lower carb, higher protein, a little bit higher fat, like paleo Mediterranean style eating. Like, that's my life. Like, that's how I live life. And it's really encompassed in the Shred protocol. So, there's a lot of things here for people. When you come into our group, not only do you have the support of thousands of other people, we have amazing board members that are always serving, that are always there to help people. We have people that have been through shreds. We have people that have struggled, that have made it through to the other side. They're constantly showing up. They're constantly cheering people on. They're constantly helping people get up there. We're constantly adding new information. Anytime that something new comes up, we're bringing it to you. You don't have to go through all of it. You don't have to fucking decipher through all the shit. Like, I'll do that for you and bring you the most up-to-date stuff. If we need to change something, we're not too stubborn. We'll change it for you. We just want to make sure that we're giving people the best opportunity for optimal health, so they can live the best life that's possible, playing with their granddaughters, playing with their kids, being a better partner, being a better employee, being a better entrepreneur, whatever that is. We're serving people. We're building that bridge to get you from where you are to where you want to be in a faster period of time by doing something like this. And again, the 11-day protocol is just the beginning. You do not stay there for the rest of your life. You do not never go out. You do not never be with friends. You do not never enjoy dessert again. Like, I'm for dessert, but when it's dessert, not for breakfast, lunch, and dinner like the average American person today. Like, we're just going to teach you the proper ways so you can feel amazing every single day. It is my passion to help people, to help anybody that wants to learn, anybody that wants to listen. I don't have all the magical answers. I can only share with you what I know has worked for me, what I've read from the literature, what makes the most sense. More importantly, I can share with you what's worked for hundreds and thousands of other people at this point. And that's what we can do. And we can help you navigate through. We can help you find your lane. The tracks are for everybody to run on. And whether we pull the lever and send you one way or pull the lever and send you another way, that's the fun of the journey. That's the whole point of it. That's why you keep showing up. So I appreciate all your time. Those of you that stuck with me, I know I'm a little bit over. I always shoot for an hour, but somehow I'm very long-winded. I have a big mouth and like to talk, so I'm 12 minutes over. I appreciate all of you being here tonight. Please do me a favor, smash the share button, get this out to as many people as possible, invite people into our Shred community. I think we have like 75 people that are in the waiting queue. Make sure that if you invite them, you tell them to answer the 3 basic questions. It's very, very simple. We don't want to just invite anybody. We want to make sure that people are ready. Again, you don't have to be like, okay, gung-ho, but like, take a little bit of time. Show us that you're freaking serious. Like, we invest thousands of hours into this in our own personal time. We're not getting rewards from everybody or getting all this big pay from everybody. Like, we're doing this mostly on a volunteer basis because that's how much it means to us from the board as a whole, why we keep pouring into this. The lives that we've changed is just something that's really just blowing my mind. Like, I still can't believe it, but I believe it based off of what I know we're doing. So again, I hope that served you. I appreciate your time. Smash the share button, tag people in this post. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. Those of you that are shredding right now, do not stop. Do not give up. This is only the beginning. You are literally created to do epic shit in this world. And my hope is that you really, truly find out what it's like to feel like as a thriving human being, because that's what we were all designed to do. So hope you all have an amazing night. We'll catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.